Morning guys, 38 days to Ironman. 38 days. Boom. So, just dropped my son back to school. It's the half term, the 2-week Easter break over. So back to a sense of normality around my training, my video diaries, and all things me. Did a couple of videos yesterday while travelling up to London, and just about stress. Now, something that we all struggle with or have difficulty with, and it seems to be an ongoing issue, concern or problem with people. And this isn't a plug, by the way. This is my book. It was a UK bestseller. It's a bestseller globally, and it's on how to stress less. And in it, in summary, talk about simplifying all things to do with your life, taking action on any things that aren't quite working. If you're experiencing any resistance or pain, then to identify it and make some changes to manage stress. Bear in mind, stress in itself, the chemical reaction with the body and the behaviours as a result, is natural. If you're struggling with stress or coping or trying to deal with it, you're doing the best you can. And it's time just to take a momentary pause and think about how you're effectively supporting healthy, mindful, spiritual well-being as a whole, combining the three areas. In there I talk about all the chemical reactions that are happening in the body. I talk about nutrition, fitness and mindful well-being being the three fundamentals of any kind of development, success, change. And how sometimes it's the smaller aspects of our lives that are having the bigger issues, the bigger upsets. And as soon as you start to address those issues and those concerns, you start to notice a massive and vast improvement. It doesn't take much to change or develop. I think I could probably be used as a guinea pig in that scenario, in the fact that, you know, it's taken me less than 100 days really to learn how to re-swim, learn how to rerun, learn how to ride. We are highly adaptable to change as a species. You can pick a person up, drop them in another country, and providing they're fed and sheltered and hydrated, they pretty much can cope with most extremes. You know, forever on the telly you're seeing new feat of discovery where someone's climbing a new rock or going deeper underground or experiencing Arctic or polar extremes. You know, we can adapt, we can really, with just a small amount of time, knowledge and support, we can adapt to any situation. I had an email from a lady the other day that had bought one of my audiobooks focused on and eliminating drink addiction to alcohol. I've been drinking for 10 years, at least 2 bottles a day. And after listening to one of my audios, this is not a plug as well, after listening to one of my audios, had stopped drinking for the previous 2 weeks. That's from a standing start. Now, my audiobook would have been a supportive tool in that process, but at the end of the day, it was her that would have had to take the action. You know, I'm not going to be there to help or support everybody, so my products help me do that as best as I can remotely. Stop drinking after 10 years takes a huge amount of commitment to changing some of those very unsupportive habits. The first one is to stop buying the stuff. Basic. And again, in the stress book, I cut everything back to the real basics. It's not a book written for medical professionals. It's not a book written for the science world. It's a book written for everyday folk like you and me. Individuals that don't need to know the ins and outs of nursing or psychology. It's about just breaking things down into the simplistic things. Like, if you are stressed, stop being stressed by doing the things or reducing the things that are making you stressed. If you're stressed about finances and you're living to service debt, and I covered this in more in the podcast yesterday, in the video yesterday. If you're working and at the end of every single month you have less than 30% of your income to spend or to last you the month for essentials, then you need to make some readjustments. And it needs to be flipped the other way. The second that you start to spend 30% on essentials like mortgage repayments, rent, utilities, the second you start doing that and having 70% left at the end of the month, your whole life changes dramatically. Any financial stress levels will more than half. If you have to work an extra 30 hours a month to service a debt on a vehicle, there needs to be some adjustments made there in your thinking. So yeah, stress. If we were to gauge there was a stress chart out there, Benetti's stress chart, we're going to call it. If it's a stress chart right now, I'd probably have anywhere between 0 and 5 out of 100 as a stress bar. And probably those stressors are nothing to do with anything bar physical stressors based on the amount of training that I'm doing. That's it. Watching this and thinking I'm a lucky person, then you would be mistaken, because I don't believe in luck. I believe in hard work, action, alignment, self-reflection. Who win the lottery aren't lucky, they're gamblers. People that are out there driving supercars, professional football players who have all the materialistic possessions they could ever want. I'm not lucky. They were one of tens of thousands aspiring professional athletes looking to put their whole life on hold outside of that football to train 7 days a week, sometimes twice a day, to take knockback after knockback after knockback, to be told on more than one occasion, I'm sure, that they're not good enough. See, to me that's not luck, that's persistence, patience and commitment. This book here, it's a good story actually. Well, I think it's a good story. This is the second of my published books with this publisher. My first one was called How to Change Your Life, also a bestseller, translated into Arabic, Chinese, Albanian, a few other languages. And I approached that publisher when I was just first starting out in the self-development or self-help industry regarding a book called Entrepreneurs Always Drive on Empty. And at the time, during my startup business, I was thinking, right, what I'm going to write about my story, similar to actually what I'm doing now. I'm going to write about my story, my startup, and I included everything in my startup business in that book. I later ended up self-publishing the book because I thought it was too good to write and not be published. In hindsight, I'd probably have kept hold of that material and wait until I'd established myself as slightly better within the industry and then publish the book through a publisher, because the content in it, for me, even looking back, has not dated over the last 10, 14 years. Anyway, so I was approaching this publisher, Wiley's, Capstone Wiley's, which are the people that make the dummies guides, same publisher, and the same girl or woman that I spoke to then, actually I spoke to with regards to these books, or my management spoke to these people regarding these books, and they said no, and they came back to me 6 months later and was still no, and I kept pursuing, and I said, look, listen, that's fine, you know, let's keep this door open, let's keep this channel open, this communication going. As it happens, 8-9 years later, I write 2 books, both published, and they knew better. They knew at that time that I wasn't ready to be writing those or publishing that first book. But I took the knockback, and they weren't the only publishers I went to. I went to several other publishers. And it was frustrating, you know. You got a message and you've got a product and you think this is really good. You want to push it out and you want others to hear the message, be supportive and enjoy. And especially with my ethos has always been around inspiring others to achieving great things, to helping others, to listening, being productive, providing a support network. And it was relatively frustrating at the time not to have them believe as much as I did in that first publication. But they knew best, you know, they were the professionals in that, and as a result, by keeping the communication open, by being open, by me not taking any kind of personal offence to that initial rejection, the doors were left open and I was able to work with those people. So I don't believe in luck, but that's not what I was talking about. I was talking about the stress. So stress is inevitable in a Western way of thinking. When you're training for these kinds of events, for me especially, not necessarily the mental stress that I think gets to us or becomes a contributing factor, but it's the physical stresses. As I said just the other day, I think it was Sunday, I fell asleep for 2 hours. That's completely out of character for me. Normally never ever fall asleep during the day. I've done it several times. Why? Stress on my body. The body is doing its best to support you. You've just got to listen. So I'm just off to the gym now. I've got a swim, 2,004 or 600 metres. Actually really looking forward to it, to be honest. I think it's mostly made up of 1,500 metre. I think it's 1,300, 2,300 actually. I'll find out in a minute anyway. I'll check my training plan, but I know the first blip is 1,500 metres. And then I have an hour and 10-minute ride this evening, so that'll be on the turbo at home. I'm actually out today. I've got a few meetings out, a few work commitments. So, that's it for this morning. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate all of the kind words and comments. I'm going to keep these videos going to obviously the end. Really appreciate any support that you can give. Any communication that really you send out to me, I really appreciate as well, because it kind of inspires me to keep making them. They do take a bit of effort on my behalf. But for now, peace out. Hi guys, so I've just finished the 2,300 metre swim, 45-ish minutes. Felt really good actually. Felt more in the flow after, I'd probably say 18, 19, 20 minutes when I reached just over the 1,000 metre mark. Just felt more comfortable. And I've spoken about it before, how you just, seem to find the zone, get in it, find your pace. Any kind of thoughts about the outside world, by which point are normally gone. Any distractions kind of gone. And pool to start with today was probably a little bit busier than normal, and towards the end, well, at the end, I was the only person in the pool, so that was pretty good. Really excited. I mean, every day, obviously when editing the videos, I look back and see how I'm feeling, but a couple of days ago I spoke about truth. This is how I'm absolutely ecstatic, with how things are, with my very being, with how everything seems to be really well aligned at the moment. I was thinking about it when I was in the pool. I utilised that time this morning as my meditation. I didn't have the chance this morning. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that I'm an advocate for good quality meditation. Meditating as part of the daily routine, just 10-15 minutes. And I find once I'm in that pace, I just let my body kind of decide or settle in to the speed of which it wants to go. And then I just bring an awareness back into self. Just before I got into the pool, I was speaking to a friend of mine that I've known probably for 17 years. Probably didn't speak to each other, not through any fault or anything, but just by leading very different lives. For, yeah, a good 17 years probably. When we see each other, there's no different. It's no difference. The friendship's still there. And I spoke about this yesterday, if you caught up in yesterday's video, about that's a true indication of how solid a friendship is, or a connection. It doesn't need to be a friendship, it can just be a connection. Someone that you've associated yourself with the past, who you shared some form of happiness. Just a coffee every 3, 4, 5 months brings about some positive value to your life. I speak a lot in my usual or my daily working life about only mixing with people that are acting, behaving and living in a way in which you want to live. You're surrounding yourself with negative, unhappy, spiteful, jealous, resentful people, and no matter how much you fight, no matter how much resistance you upload into your own internal bank of processing, you're still going to adopt some of those aspects. Surround yourself with vibrant, happy, excitable people. That's who you're going to be. You know, we've all encountered it. You've always had, you know, if you work in an office, which I've done in the past, you always get the negative person. I remember one lady specifically, very unlikely that she's watching this, and I hope for her own sake she'd made some choices to change the way she lived, because she was a bad energy. You know, something not quite right with that person. And I understand now, having known what I know now, why she was like it, and the unhappiness and the hurt that she was experiencing inside. But boy, was she happy to share it. Everything about that person was conditional. Everyone can relate to that, I think. Everyone's been or experienced people like that in their lives. I think for us as humans, it's important that we work together to produce happy and quality environments for everyone around us. We all have bad days. Sometimes things don't go to plan. I guess it all comes back to choice, doesn't it? We have the choice to stay, remain. We have the choice to go out and be back to alignment again, isn't it? As I was saying, I feel really aligned at the moment. I feel very happy. So, I have a ride this afternoon. It's on the turbo, so I think it's going to be like an hour and 15 minutes. Just endurance ride, nothing particularly challenging. So I will catch up with you later. Thanks for tuning in. Speak soon. Hi guys, Ben here from 100M Man, and I have just received a parcel to which I'm very excited about. It's been a hard choice, like anything. It's trying to look for kit and go with a company that not only you trust, but one that you want to know who's going to deliver on the day. So this is hopefully that package. I might be mistaken, but I'm not. So in this package we have a set of Hoob goggles. I'm excited about wearing these. I've been using a pair of Speedos, Aqua something 2s for a while. I've been really happy with them up until this point where they started to leak. But I guess, you know, I'm putting in the miles, so there was a bit of stress there. But these, I've been reading the reviews and I'm very happy about ordering these. So we got that. We have a Hoob kit bag for the pull bag. Have a Hoob cap. If you've been watching my videos for any length of time, you know that I wear a lot of caps. So, Hoob cap going on. Pair of Hoob flip-flops. Can you see the theme? We've got a lot of Hoob going on. What is this? Okay. We have a pair of Hoob shorts. This is like out their essential range. Nothing really super exciting about these pair of shorts. More like a pair of board shorts to be honest. I'm going to give them a go at running, see what they're like at running, and then I'll report back at a later date. But they're Hoob shorts. And then probably the most exciting bit is my Hoob suit that I'm going to be wearing on the day. Now, I've spent a lot of time and research looking for the best for the day and one that I feel confident and comfortable in. And I've gone for the Dave Scott 2-piece Hoob suit. It is probably more expensive than most, but like all things, you pay for what you get. There we have it. The long course or Hoob long course 2-piece. I've gone for a 2-piece because I can imagine I'm going to need a pee break or various breaks throughout the day, and for me the 2-piece just seems a hell of a lot more practical than trying to get out in a rush or a hurry. There's no need for me to have a 1-piece, to be honest with you. This one has the UV protection in it. It looks really cool, and it goes with my kind of colour combo on the bike, which is black, red and white. So that's it. Mega excited. When I get a couple of training sessions in using this, I may give it a go on my spin session this afternoon. So if you're watching this as an independent video rather than part of my series, then why not check out my series on my channel under the 100 Days to Ironman, or my journey to 100 Days to Ironman. So this has got a little pocket at the back here. These shorts have got padding. From what I've read, and again, I will experience it, I'm sure, later this afternoon when I give them a go. The padding is relatively, it was placed relative to a quite an aggressive riding position, which my bike is set up for, despite being a complete newbie. But these look fantastic. Can't wait to give them a go. So that is my opening of the Hoob parcel, which I've arrived today. Not sponsored by Hoob at all. Have no interest from them or no connection with them whatsoever. It's just the amount of research I've done over the last few months. I feel most comfortable and confident in supporting their business as opposed to the others. 1, looks great. 2, the reviews look fantastic. 3, you know, the people involved in it know what they're talking about. They've been in the industry a long time. And 4, when you've got the support and Dave Scott's prepared to put his name to a product range or brand, then for me that pretty much says it all. Hi guys, so I've just finished the hour, it was an hour session on the turbo. First 50 minutes were heart rate zone 2 to 3, and then the last 10 minutes were best effort. So it was big ring, best effort, head down. For the last 10, I haven't even looked at my heart rate, it must have been up in the 4s. I know that the watch was going mental because I've set it so that I don't go. It gives me warnings every time I hit the higher heart rate zones. Hence the reason why I'm slightly out of breath. So it was, you can probably see in the video the speed at which I was going, so that was a constant for 10 minutes. Legs feel all good. You know, I don't feel, apart from slight out of breath, I don't feel that I've actually, to be fair, you can hear the Garmin going off in the background again. Heart rate recovery zone. So yeah, I feel like I probably could have done that whole session again, if not a couple more times. As you can see, I have adorned the new arrival to the kit family, the Hoob Dave Scott long course 2-piece. I just stuck a tweet out actually. It feels, not only does it look fantastic, and I know we shouldn't really go off vanity when kits was concerned, but you want to look good, especially for the many pictures that are taken throughout the 140 miles. But it feels, if you go off their sizing chart, it feels like it's been designed for me. It really hugs to the body. There's enough room in all the places where it needs enough room. The padding, there's not a lot of padding, and you can't feel it's there, but you know it's there because you're not sore after an hour hitting the saddle. Don't know whether it's going to be the same after 3, 4, 5 hours during the training on the saddle, and then on the day for 6, 7, 8 maybe hours. But all in all, first impressions and all, I am really mega chuffed with my choice. So hats off to Hoob and Dave Scott for putting his name to it. It's sweaty, so it's going to have to go in the wash. I've looked at the instructions and it says stick it in at 40, mix wash, and then I will leave it to dry over a rack. I won't obviously tumble dry it or anything. So let's see how it turns out after a wash. To know that a lot of this kit can shrink in the wash. But as I said, so far I'm mega chuffed with it. Nothing else really has changed. Yeah, so that's it for now. I've got a run tomorrow. So I will catch up with you first thing in the morning. But for now, peace out. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to subscribe and all the usual stuff that goes with it. Have a good evening.